Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy here again, Dean, and I'm going to give you guys some tricks and tips before what might be your first regional since singles is coming up, and the grand showdown is coming up. This is really just some advice to everyone, and I'm going to maybe, do things a little bit different. I want to tell you guys three things that I think you need to know before you get to these regionals. Number one, play a deck that you are not only comfortable on, but that you're okay losing on. I think this is a very important thing that people do not understand. Because people always say, "Oh yeah, play something you're comfortable on." What does that mean? What does that mean, right? In your testing, you might be playing Kuon, and it's like perfect, right? It's going good. Life is good. Can you play Kuon for 9 rounds? That's an actual question. Like, right? Do you some like newer players, you get mental fatigue, right? 9 rounds, like, so definitely when you're playtesting, have long playtesting sessions where you actually test your own endurance, because that's something that some people, they get tournament fatigue, and you're playing a deck, and then you're having the run of your life, but then man, it's getting near the end, and you just make the wrong decision, right? Definitely play a deck that you're comfortable on that, but then also, how does your deck lose, right? um because I think the mental health, like, during the tournament, is very important. Sometimes something happens in a game and it just spirals out of control. And are your loss conditions, because you will have some horrible things happen in tournaments. Trust me, I've been to a bunch of tournaments. Uh, Horrific things will happen. You'll have the worst hands you've ever seen. You're going to be playing Kuon. You're going to see a hand of three Kuons, three D shifts, and there's going to be nothing in sight. You're going to top deck Crimson Meteor Storm, and you're going to die on turn 5 when you had no playables. It's something like that's going to happen. Um, but like, more of like when your deck is maybe not something that horrific, right? But like, if your deck's having like a bad game, like, what do your bad games look like, and like, how often are they? And is it something that you're able to like accept before the tournament? Because I know some decks, there's like, I just won't touch them because I'm like, man, I'm going to be sitting down for a 6 round, 7 round tournament, and the loss conditions for the deck are just like, they're just too frustrating for me, right? So like, I just don't want to deal with it. Um, Definitely something to be thinking about when you choose a deck in the tournament. Number two, never sell yourself short. When I go into a tournament personally, I say nobody in the room is better than me. Even they can be as good as me, but they cannot be better. I've seen some like newer players and stuff. Like, right, it's like somebody shows up in the room, like, oh my god, it's that person. Those people lose just like everyone else. Everyone loses in all card games. Um, World champions, best players in the room, doesn't matter. It's a card game. Everyone can lose. Definitely don't psych yourself out depending on who, just because you sit across from somebody. It doesn't matter where regional you're in, who it is. Everyone loses. Nobody's immune to it. Definitely don't be afraid of somebody. Just go in and say, I can be as good as anyone in the room. That's kind of the mentality you need to have going into the tournament if you want to have a deep run. And number three, the last real thing I'm going to tell you guys, because this is going to be a short video, like I said, it's not really, like, oh, you need these play mats and stuff. No, this is like more of the mental stuff. Is don't set your expectations too high. I, in the past, have wanted, like, when I was like first getting into card games, I really wanted that world. I wanted that, like, oh, I want to go to a world's tournament, and so I chased that for a long time back in the early days of Weiss. And man, when you chase that, you can chase that. You can chase, like, man, you can chase that world's invite. And Bushiroad game is really hard. It's only top 3. But it's a best of 1 game as well, by the way. So yeah, it's like really rough. It really is kind of like a numbers thing. Doesn't matter what your win percentage is. Really is a numbers thing because of those top cuts. Uh, don't set a more realistic goal than like top 3. This is like something I think people do really need to do. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard because they're great. You want to win the tournament. You want to like top. You want the third. You want the third top 3. You want the first place. Some people want the first place. I've never been arrogant enough because, like, it's so difficult to get first. Like, right, it's such a coin flip, right? Getting top 8. So, especially with the Grand Showdown stuff, we have top 16 mats. We have top 32 promos. If you're starting out the game, say I'm going to try to top 32, or I'm going to. I usually say the best goal to have is, at the bare minimum, say I'm going to try to have a 50% win rate. and then go from there, right? Like if you've been playing the game a little bit, but you're not like the best player at your locals, say, okay, I'm really trying this format. I really want a top 32. So it's like top 32. That's a pretty achievable goal. It's looking like Grand Showdown might be around 200 players, give or take. So top 32. That's a pretty good top. If you're a little bit more experienced, top 16, maybe is a very achievable goal as well. And anything after top 8, I mean, even getting into top 8, especially like as like the bracket resistance continues, everything after top 8 is just like, if it happens, it happens, because those are like best of one single elimination games. Well, at least the top 8 bracket is. It's where I've had quite the unfortunate run, but definitely just set realistic expectations. Don't say you have to top 3 the tournament, especially with singles coming up. If you really do want a world invite, the biggest thing I can tell you is to plan a lot of trips, because it doesn't matter if you're the best player in the room. I'm going to be honest. In a Bushiroad game, they're best of one, top 8 cut, top 4 cut. Like, right, it's like at any point you could like top 3. It's doable, but definitely, yeah, definitely, I like set a more realistic expectation. Like if you're trying to go for like world invite, definitely say something like, okay, I'm gonna go to 5 tournaments this season. This is like me personally. I'm gonna go to 5 tournaments this season. I want to top 8 3 of them. That's my goal. Gives me room for 2 things, horrible things to happen, and then as long as I can top 8 3 of them, I'm happy with my performance as a player. If I don't get an invite, that's fine. But definitely, yeah, set realistic expectations. I feel like that's something that, especially when you're traveling a lot, it can consume you a little bit. But yeah, that's definitely a big word of advice from me. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to tell you guys some pretty quick, easy things. Hasn't been a lot of content on the channel because I've personally been preparing for the Grand Showdown, and man, I am that first part. What deck are you comfortable losing on? That's the hard part for me right now. So definitely need to put some more work in, and I hope to see everyone there. And hopefully my advice, it helps somebody out. Definitely went a different way with this than most people. But until next time, this is your boy Dean, signing out.